Tesla has consistently been a top seller, raking in massive revenue since the launch of the Model 3 and Model Y. However, it's been a while since they introduced a whole new vehicle priced on par with or lower than these models. The company seems to be feeling the pressure as global sales have slightly dipped this year. Meanwhile, profits from Cybertruck likely remain limited and FSD isn't ready for a full-scale robotaxi service. On top of that, sales for Model S and Model X remain disappointingly low. At this point, launching an affordable, highly demanded vehicle might be Tesla's best strategy to shake up the market next year. That's why Model Q, officially confirmed, will be Tesla's 9th vehicle debuting in the first half of next year. Billed as the best compact car next year, it boasts a 284-mile range. Dive deeper into the details of Model Q right now. Welcome to evtech. Before we begin, please help us reach 225 subscribers. It'll be a huge motivation for us to keep bringing you great episodes about Tesla bots, Tesla EVs, and just the latest overall tech news. Thanks again. The new Tesla model is called Model Q in reports, and before it was often called Model 2. It seems they're not official names yet, but we temporarily call it Model Q because the head of consumer relations at Tesla investor, Travis Axelrod, revealed to Deutsche Bank that the car is called Model Q and will be produced on Tesla's existing production line. The launch of Model Q has a great purpose when Tesla had an unimpressive year in 2024 and the number of Model Y and Model 3 inventories still seems to be quite large. This is the reason Tesla continuously launches programs. Promotion during this period, realizing 2025 will be even worse if Tesla doesn't make any moves to attract customers, the company's chosen the best option to launch Model Q, the car that millions of people are interested in and waiting for a long time. According to a report from Deutsche Bank, the Model Q is expected to launch in the first half of 2025, around June, and will be priced at $30,000 in a subsidy-inclusive state, meaning the price of Model Q could be $37,400 if the U.S. electric vehicle tax credit goes away now that Trump is looking to eliminate it. If EV subsidies remain in place and are not canceled by Trump next year, the price of Model Q could eventually drop to $30,000, and it would be the cheapest car for Tesla ever. By comparison, Model 3 currently costs 42 Gs in the US and 35K in Australia after subsidies are applied. Model Q is expected to be 15% smaller and 30% lighter than Model 3 with a length of approximately 157 inches, the same length as a standard Mini. Model 3 is 185 inches long, so cutting it closer to 30 inches would create a fairly compact vehicle. At the start of this year, Model Q was reported by insiders that it would be a compact crossover, but this remains uncertain as Tesla does not yet have a hatchback model in its collection. However, we're sure that Model Q will definitely be the best compact in its price range. Speaking of specs, the Model Q will come in two variants, a single-motor rear-wheel drive with a 53-kilowatt battery pack and a long-range dual-motor all-wheel drive variant expected to include a 75-kilowatt-hour battery, all of which are LFPs. The report states that the car will be able to go up to 500 kilometers or 310 miles on a single charge, but we think that it'll be for the AWD variant, and the price for this variant is also higher. It's also unclear whether that estimate's based on rather generous standards used by Chinese authorities. We think the EPA for the RWD model will be a bit less, perhaps between 230 and 284 miles. Tesla's plan to make about 10,000 of these vehicles per week globally, or about 500,000 a year. As Tesla mentioned in its previous earnings call, this next-gen vehicle will be built using Tesla's existing assembly line with minimal changes, which will allow for smooth and seamless production. Predictable. The company's much-touted unboxing assembly process will be retained for the Cybercab, when and if it goes in production. Model Q will begin in China and then the US, specifically at the Fremont plant in California. It seems unlikely that Model Q will get made in Germany due to the high labor costs. In places where Tesla sells, well, a lot of people already have one of the existing models, and some buyers just want something new and different. It has nothing to do with price or size or shape, just new and different. Even some new colors will help increase sales, so Model Q will be always attractive whether it's overly minimalist or not, and importantly, the price will be lower than Model 3. Once again, please help us get to 225 subscribers. This is important for us to stay motivated. Thank you. In the end, we still have an affordable Tesla Model 2, which will likely be the most affordable Tesla car, expected to be unveiled next year, with mass production done by 2027. This is the most optimistic timeline for customers. And as we've mentioned, don't set too high an expectations for this car. To hit that low price point, we got to accept some trade-offs. It may not be visually impressive, its performance might not stand out, and its interior is going to be quite basic. But if customers don't accept these compromises, they'll turn to other high-end Tesla EVs. The customers for Model 2 are simply those who want to buy a Tesla with the money they have. Clearly, not everybody wants to buy an expensive car, and not everybody has the means to buy vehicles costing over 30 grand. With the release date, specs, and design of Model 2 still in flux, the final price remains the only real mystery. While it will be Tesla's most affordable car, it's still hard to predict just how far Elon will go with this vehicle, so in the end, we'll still have to wait a little longer. That's some of the info you need to know about Model 2. Now, we want to share a few details about how Tesla's federal tax credits might change after Trump's re-election, raising the question of whether EV buyers will still benefit from them. Specifically, we all know that many EV buyers get a federal tax credit of $7,500 if their vehicle qualifies. However, Reuters recently reported in an exclusive that sources close to Trump are planning to eliminate the $7,500 tax credit for new EVs, a move that would impact both consumers and major companies. Many argue that Tesla will still be fine if this credit goes away, but companies like GM, Ford, and Rivian might feel an impact. Tesla has an unprecedented scale and reach in the EV industry, and this momentum could give Elon a clear competitive advantage in an EV subsidy-free environment starting next year. Additionally, higher tariffs on China will continue to push back lower-cost Chinese EVs from BYD, NIO, and others from flooding the U.S. market in the coming years. However, from the consumer's perspective, losing the $7,500 tax credit is a big amount, and it could make people consider buying an electric vehicle. This would make it harder to encourage the widespread adoption of electric, which is our take on this situation. Recently, many variants of Tesla EVs have lost their eligibility for the credit, and it's clear that not all EVs now qualify. To get the federal tax credit when buying an EV in the U.S., the vehicle has to meet certain specs, like being made in North America and having a price that doesn't exceed $55,000 for sedans or $80,000 for SUVs. Additionally, the car's battery must meet sourcing requirements. At least 40% of the critical minerals need to be mined or recycled in the U.S. or in countries with free trade agreements with the U.S. And 50% of the battery components must be manufactured in North America, with that percentage increasing over the years. Delaying the launch of Model 2 seems to be a well-thought-out decision. If Tesla were to release a $25,000 vehicle too soon, it could reduce demand for Model 3 and Y, two of the company's current cash cows. Instead of creating internal competition, Tesla has chosen to stay silent, allowing the market to absorb the existing models before introducing the more affordable option. Although Elon appears indifferent to Model 2, evidence from internal documents and leaked prototypes suggests the project is quietly progressing. The car may launch later than originally planned, potentially next year or later, and it will likely be much more minimalist than expected. With a potential price under $25,000 and a range of 200 miles, Model 2 remains a strategic asset that Tesla is unlikely to abandon. Losing the $7,500 EV tax credit could be key to Tesla's next phase of dominance, and since the company already holds a share of the EV market in the US, its leadership position could grow even further. That said, we still hope this doesn't happen.
Thanks for watching our video. If you found the content helpful and want to explore more exciting info about Tesla EVs, don't forget to hit the like button and share this video. Also, make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss out on our latest videos. We appreciate your support and look forward to seeing you in the next video.